Hi, our names are Alexandra and Tal. We are doing pilgrimage tourism. What is pilgrimage? Pilgrimage is a religious journey or expedition to somewhere that has been transformed into a sacred place on the basis of its history. Those who go on a pilgrimage are called pilgrims. A pilgrim is a person who journeys to a sacred place for religious or spiritual reasons. The word pilgrim comes from the Latin word peregrinus, that is derived originally from the medieval phrase per ages, meaning through the fields, in order to describe people who used to cross the territory outside the city. You're probably thinking pilgrims are religious people who travel to churches in the mountain or temples in the jungle, but you'd be wrong, and here's why. Pilgrims are motivated not just by religion but also by their desire for change or life-altering experience. Pilgrims are also motivated by their desire for adventure and to have an experience they can't have at home. Tourism gives meaning to our lives and is understood as either a secular ritual like the annual holiday or as the opposite of daily life, functioning as a rite of passage for an individual. Some tourists are motivated by the same factors as religious pilgrims. In the constantly expanding secular world, with its countless number of individuals lacking any element of religion or faith, people will look elsewhere for connection or meaning. The language used to describe the modern secular tourist is often loaded with religious overtones. Tourists wants to be alone with revered artifacts. Tourist trips are spiritual experiences characterized by the desire to be part of a community of people who share their reverence and passion. One dimension of spirituality is a search for connectedness. The other two dimensions are transcendence and personal meaning. For example, the state-sponsored Birthright trip that is open to all Jews living outside of Israel, in which they are taken around Israel for 7 to 10 days to experience life in their ancestral homeland. They go in groups with their peers, meet and interact with locals, experience local customs, and gain a personal understanding of their roots. One form of secular pilgrimage is literary pilgrimage. A literary pilgrim is defined as a dedicated scholar prepared to travel to experience places linked with their favorite writers. This is so that they can feel closer to them and pay their respect. This is like a person traveling to visit the home of William Shakespeare. Another form of secular pilgrimage is dark tourism. Dark tourism is traveling to sites associated with death and disaster. A Jewish person traveling to Auschwitz, which can be morbid, can also be spiritual and personal, and provide people with a sense of connectedness and closeness. The push and pull motives for visiting dark sites and pilgrimage sites are personal growth, empathy, spiritual travel, and a quest for a strong sense of unity and involvement. Visitors from differing market segments often visit the same sites and coexist, despite the fact that the reasons for their visits vary considerably. This is why, as hospitality service providers, we have to be aware of all market segments and appeal to a wide range of people. Pilgrimage holds a significant share in tourism worldwide, and it contributes to the overall growth of the destination in terms of infrastructure, employment generation, and business to the locals. For example, souvenirs are commercial objects that are known to be permanent in nature and possesses values of the destination with hidden meaning and significance. Pilgrims, no matter how religious, are essentially tourists and will buy souvenirs just like any other non-religious tourists. Tourist boards should enhance the availability of unique, authentic, and locally crafted souvenir items to appeal to a wider range of people. Pilgrims need to have their physical needs met while on their spiritual voyage. This means that they need accommodations, food and beverage, and transportation. The problem, though, is that for some religious pilgrims, they believe that the harsher the journey, the more spiritually rewarding the trip is, and they believe that staying at a hotel and dining at a restaurant undermines their journey. What hotel corporations can do to appeal to a pilgrim's spiritual need is work with religious organizations to create a brand that is made to target religious pilgrims, similar in concept to youth hostels.